Hi everyone, I am back for week 6 of my hand therapy Fieldwork 2 placement. So this past week was the midterm week, seeing as I'm here for 12 weeks. And I have to say that this week was a little bit rough for me. Um, I'm not really sure what was kind of happening for me. I just was having a rough time doing some of the things that I know that I am capable of. They just weren't coming to me. Uh, I was having a lot of trouble treatment planning. I was kind of just sitting there and I was like, it just wasn't coming to me. And I don't know why. I don't know if I was just in my own head, which is possible. Um, I'm being honest here. So we all go through these times where things just might not be coming to us like we think it should. And you have to just take that one step at a time and be like, okay, well, it's not coming to me today, but then I'm going to try harder. So I'm going to go through and break it down a little bit more. So for me, I had to break it down a little bit, almost instead of looking at the diagnosis and being like, okay, what could I do with them? I had to break it down into problems. So, okay, this person's having issues pronating and supinating or something like that. And then basically almost doing like an activity analysis. Okay, well, what activities do we have here, which are a lot in the clinic? Um, that you can work on pronating and supinating. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you could come up with. But I think sometimes for me, I was, thinking too broadly, thinking too, oh, I need to make this some sort of grandiose treatment. And that's not the case. I had to be reminded of that. And now I think that I can start to allow those things to flow better in my head. And, I think that with learning, it's kind of like an ebb and flow type of thing. It doesn't always just flow, even though you want it to. Uh, I am the biggest proponent. I like when most things, like when they come naturally, and it doesn't always happen that way. And you just have to sometimes work differently. Maybe what you were trying wasn't working. So, change things around, fix what you were doing, and then try it a different way. There's, in OT, there's plenty of different things. You can make pretty much anything therapeutic, and you can come up with a way because if you know what you want and you know what you need to work on, you are the expert. You can say, this is what we're doing because it works on X, Y, and Z. And maybe to the common person, they might not be like, okay, well, why are we doing this? But we can give a rationale because we can be like, well, this works on flexion, extension, this works on strength, this works on pinch, this works on, we could say a whole bunch of different things. But to the common person, it might just look like playing a game of cards. But even though it does work on a lot of things. So I feel like there's sometimes that you have to remember that we are an OT. We are, maybe we're students right now, but we're going to be OTs. And that we are able to think like an OT. You just have to put that lens on and remember that you are capable. I know I lack confidence. I know that's something that we talk about a lot. And it's something that you have to have confidence in yourself first. And it's hard for me. I know, I'm not gonna lie. But you have to have confidence in yourself and then just roll with it. You are smart, you are capable. So pick something, even if you feel like, okay, maybe this isn't great, maybe it is. Maybe it is. So you know what? Just go with it, roll with it, and it might be a really great idea. You wouldn't know if you didn't try it, so you might as well try it. So then I figured I'd talk a little bit about, since it's midterm, I figured I'd talk a little bit about how I feel now compared to how I feel in the first week. So I think that it is really eye-opening to see how different I feel. I feel like I feel the same in some ways, but I also feel very different. I feel a lot more comfortable. I feel a lot more willing to do different things. I think everything flows a little bit more. I'll go do something for my CI or whatever because I feel comfortable in the setting. But then there's also things where I feel like now I might be a little bit more nervous for certain things because I'm starting to get some of that larger responsibility as a student. I'm taking more people in a caseload. I am actually treatment planning for individuals by myself. So I feel like there's things where I feel a lot more confident in, and there's things where I'm like, okay, I still feel like I don't really know too much about this aspect. So there's going to be times where certain things are going to feel great and certain things are going to be like, I'm not really sure. But with that, you have to try to be sure of yourself. So you have to keep doing the work, do the work outside of the clinic, do the work, and just remember, sometimes you need to take a pause and be like, listen, I know this. I know this. It might not be coming to me right now because I'm nervous, but I know this. So I'm going to take a second and then I'm going to be like, okay, I got it. So you have to do that to best serve the clients. And you know what? Best serve yourself, because sometimes it's difficult when things just aren't coming to you, but you're going to get there. You're going to make it through. And I guess this is sounding like an inspirational video. But sometimes you just need that. You need that person in your corner kind of saying, you know this, like I know you know this, but you just need to work that out with yourself and figure out, okay, what am I going to do next? This didn't work. What am I going to do next? So sometimes you just got to take things as they come and roll with the punches. But I feel like since week one, I can just see the progression in myself. I can see, evaluations used to terrify me very much so. But now, I might still be a little nervous, but I know that I can measure range of motion. I know what I need to do. I know that I can ask the questions in a timely manner. So you just take it and you do it and you just keep going. So I feel like those are things that, maybe back at the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get good at this. But now I am. So you just have to remember that it's a process. It's a learning process. Processes don't usually take a short amount of time. They're usually a long, drawn out type of thing. So you just got to keep going with that. So that's my week 6 video, and I'll be back for week 7.